Fresh Insights.
I'm Micah Solomon, and I'm sitting down today with Stacey Epstein, who's the Chief Marketing Officer at Freshworks. I think anyone who sees you here today is curious about your career highlights previous to getting here. I would love to hear some of that stuff.
Sure, of course. So I sort of fell into marketing and tech. I graduated from college with a degree in English and having...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
right.
Yay, English majors. And also played soccer in college, and I sort of thought I was going to combine my love of sports and my love of writing and journalism and become a sportscaster. Obviously ended up in a very different position. And I got a job as an admin at Oracle, which at the time was a really pretty small up-and-coming company. And it was really fast-paced and exciting, and I realized that you don't have to be an engineer to work in tech. I did a lot of a combination of marketing, sales, channels, partners, just the go-to-market side of the business. And from there, I was there for about 6 years. From there, I went to my first sort of small startup, and I was a sales rep. And I still, even, almost 25 years later, I still consider that one of the most impactful highlights, if you will, of my career, because I sat in the seat of a salesperson that had to sell. And I realized how important it is to understand what's going to be compelling to the prospect or to the customer, and to have to communicate to that customer in order to win the business, right? It's all about defining the value proposition that meets their unique needs and then winning the deal. And I found myself always in the marketing team's office going, you guys, it's not working. The stuff you're giving me is not what they want. Like, you don't understand the customer. So I'd create my own decks, and I'd use those in my sales cycles, and then I'd have other people from the sales team.
They loved you for that.
Well, the marketing team didn't really love me until all the sales team started asking me for my decks. And it turned into a really collaborative relationship where I had some really good relationships in marketing, and we collaborated a lot more on what would really help me win. But that's where I really realized I think marketing's in my blood, and that I should just go do those decks myself for a living. But I've never lost that feeling of, at the end of the day, I'm just here to help sales win deals. And whether that happens online or in a one-to-one sales cycle, whether it's individual conversations or like mass marketing, that's my job as a marketer, is to help sales win deals.
You've written a lot about empathetic marketing, so tell us about your own spin on how you do this now.
Yeah, I do think it's one of the most important, if not the most important, traits or practices you can have as a marketer, and it really is about getting into your customer's shoes. What are their pains? What are their needs? What are their opportunities? Truly understanding them and uniquely positioning your value proposition to meet their needs to help them. And, to me, that's the most effective way to market. It goes back to the decks. The decks weren't resonating because the marketing department didn't understand the customer, but I did because I was sitting in front of them every day trying to convince them to buy something.
So without making all the executives sit in that sales seat, or is there a way to simulate that for the executives here to get that empathetic view?
Yeah, I think you have to put it into practice and into part of your processes. And some of it is just conscientiously making sure you're meeting with customers, you're talking to customers directly, you're talking to salespeople in the field. But also things like here at Freshworks, once a month, our entire executive team meeting is dedicated to hearing directly from customers. It's our Voice of Customer program, and we have actual customers come on a Zoom call and talk to our whole team. And it's a combination of, you guys are amazing, we love you, keep doing this, do more of that. And sometimes it's, hey, you guys fell down a little bit and I need your help to do this, or I really need this feature to be done in order to achieve my goals. And both of those help us, not only in marketing, but across our entire executive team, to do better by our customers, which ultimately then, of course, helps us sell more customers. So I do think having it as part of your process is really important as a company.
By this point, I probably am irritating my friends by saying customer experience is the new marketing over and over, but what do you think? Is delighting customers, is that really the marketing imperative of our time?
Oh, I absolutely think it is. This day and age, customers have so many opportunities to be vocal, to get their voice heard. They can talk on social, everything's viral. If they have a great experience, they're going to talk about it. If they have a negative experience, they're going to talk about it. And really understanding what their experiences are should inform the marketing strategy. And it gets even beyond marketing and all the way through to how you build the product. And at Freshworks, we have a very strong product-led growth engine here that drives a lot of our customer acquisition. And it goes down to, if you understand your audience and you know what they need, then you can build products that they want. And then that notion of if you build it, they will come, they start coming because they've been led into the process, maybe through some inbound marketing, and then they start experiencing these features. And if it's simple and easy for them to experience it, try it out, not very expensive, easy to onboard, and then suddenly they're a customer. And so you've done that by understanding what do they need. Because when they show up from a little bit of marketing, they show up and they see this is a great product, I'm just going to continue on my journey and become a customer. That's all about the experience that they've had. So I absolutely think that customer experience is the way we should all be marketing our offerings.
I know you have been thrust into this position a few times, the David and Goliath position with you starring as David, where you have been competing against larger companies with larger budgets. Are there any secrets, and if so, are you willing to share them on how to make your budget actually do the work of more?
There are, I'm not telling you.
I was afraid of that.
I'm just kidding. Yeah, of course, it's hard. You know, I've done the very early stage startup when no one knows who you are. You have a tiny budget, but yet you got to build it into something big. It does go back to customer experience. It goes back to understanding the market. You have to be smarter and better. You have to understand your audience better. You have to build a product that meets their need better. But there's another aspect that's really important, and that is understanding who you are as a company. How do you uniquely deliver the value that they need? And that's what really differentiates you from the bigger players who they may spend a lot of money putting messages in the market, but if you're able to get in the fray and really explain a unique value proposition that takes into consideration what they need and what you offer, and put it in the terms of the value they can receive, not the feature you're offering, the value they can receive, that's how you start to rise above and look like a better solution to them than the much bigger player who's flooding the market with lots of messages.
Do you have advice for other women who want to get into the C-suite?
Yes. It's a little complicated today. I mean, we've certainly evolved a lot. There are so many more opportunities for women in leadership positions than, for example, when I entered the workforce. My advice is focus less on the position you want and focus more on the job you're doing today. And it's great to have aspirations. It's great to say I want to be a CEO someday, but what's more important is doing a great job. And the more you focus on performing in your career and being excellent at what you do, those doors are going to open up for you and you're going to get there by doing a great job versus like, what are the specific tactics I need to do to get to CEO? It should be, what are the specific tactics I should do to do a great job for my company?
So what attracted you to Freshworks specifically, Stacey?
So I'll be honest, when I first learned about Freshworks, I didn't know much about them. And I'm in this space, so it was a little surprising to me that a company so far along and so successful would be so relatively unknown even to me. The word needed to get out more even than it has today, and that's what I love to do is understand customers and build narratives to show them the value that we can deliver. And ultimately, that's what attracted me to Freshworks.
Thanks for joining us. For more information, visit freshworks.com.